The world is full of projectile motion. Whether that projectile is a rocket going to the moon, whether that projectile is a paperweight that goes across the room, or whether that projectile is a pistol fired across the room. The world is full of objects that carry an initial speed and move under the influence of gravity and reach their point along some sort of graceful curve. And that curve is almost always a parabola. The world is full of projectile motion. Imagine this as being a projectile traveling through space. When it's first launched, it moves at some initial speed. It's hurled off into space in some direction at some particular speed. And that direction and that speed will determine eventually where this projectile will end up. That speed will come in two components. A vertical component, which literally carries the ball up and allows it to come back down, and then a horizontal component, which sends the ball sideways to wherever its final destination will be. The vertical component gives the ball time. For every second that it rises and for every second that it falls, the projectile is able to travel another second's worth of distance further. That sideways motion is caused by the horizontal component of the original motion. So for every second it stays in the air, it gets to go another bit of distance further sideways downrange. But the ball's components, vertical and horizontal, are both part of the original initial velocity. So if I give the ball more vertical velocity, I'm giving it less horizontal. It can stay in the air many more seconds, but each second it travels less. If I shoot the ball with a very high horizontal velocity, for every second it travels, it goes a long distance. But since I've made the vertical velocity less, it'll stay in the air for fewer seconds. The ball that has all vertical and no horizontal velocity goes up, comes down, never goes anywhere. The projectile that has all horizontal velocity hasn't got any vertical velocity to give it any time. So the secret to sending a projectile somewhere is to find that happy medium, the mix of vertical and horizontal velocity, which will send this ball the greatest possible distance.